Army basic training. 3 words to send fear into every American's heart, military or not. Everyone knows that basic training tests your physical, mental, and emotional, but not everyone knows that the purpose of basic training is to transition you from a child and civilian into a warrior, ready to defend his country on any front. This transformation starts on day one by developing a person's attention to detail as well as how to work together and share common responsibility as a unit. The first phase of basic is known as the red phase. This is when a young recruit is issued their new uniform, gear, and taken to the barber for military haircut. This haircut is a symbol of erosion of their individuality. The first lessons include marching, controlled body movement at attention, at ease, and standing easy. This is the first lesson in working in unison and following orders instantaneously, without question. Recruits begin physical training, or PT, at this time, and this training continues throughout boot camp. PT tests include push-ups, sit-ups, and a 2-mile run. The next lessons are hand-to-hand combat, ground fighting tactics, map reading, land navigation, and compass skills. Recruits also complete a first aid class that teaches how to triage injuries and how to take care of small wounds as needed in the field. At the end of red phase, all soldiers go through a gas chamber, at first wearing a mask, then unmasking to experience the effects of the gas on a human, emphasizing the importance of proper procedures during a chemical attack. This is one part of basic most people have heard of and dread, but it only lasts a few minutes and everyone survives. Around this time in training, a soldier is introduced to the M16A2 assault rifle. Recruits learn proper maintenance procedures and familiarize themselves with the weapon without firing. This leads to the next phase of training known as white phase. This is when the recruits start actual weapons practice. Week 1 is the phase begins with firing at a target that progressively gets further and further downrange. To pass a marksmanship, you must hit your target 28 out of 40 shots. Your skill level comes with a title: marksman, sharpshooter, or expert, depending on how many hits are made. For those wondering, I achieved an expert rating and maintained it throughout my career in the Army. In week 2 of white phase, soldiers become familiar with anti-tank weaponry and heavy weapons like grenade launchers and machine guns. This week was fun. We actually threw live grenades at old trucks and blew things up. In order for soldiers to complete the white phase, they must show their proficiency with multiple weapons. The last phase in basic is known as the blue phase, the warrior phase. This is when the drill sergeants see how a recruit's physical fitness is improved from week 1 and a final PT test is given that tests the stamina and mental toughness of a person. This is quickly followed by a field training exercise, which is when a platoon is moved into the field and a soldier's ability to function as a unit is tested in real-world scenarios. In this test, a recruit must build or find cover and use all the newly acquired training to survive firefights, gas attacks, and grenade attacks at the hands of the drill sergeants. This lasts 3 days and was the worst 3 days of my life. Once this is over, you enter the recovery week, or the last week of boot camp. This is the week a soldier cleans and inspects all equipment and returns it in the same condition it was received. The final fittings for our dress uniforms, known as greens, are done this week in preparation for the graduation ceremony. Boot camp survivors prepare the barracks for the next round of recruits who will arrive shortly after graduation. Boot camp complete. With this accomplishment, a young soldier knows that they are ready to serve the country and have shown that they are tough and are in fact warriors and should be proud of their accomplishment. Our country relies on the abilities of our military to keep us safe and protect the freedoms at any moment. The soldier relies on boot camp to provide this to themselves, that they are physically and emotionally prepared to take on this challenge.